Welcome back to B&B Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the intriguing romantic prospects swirling around Hope Logan, a character whose love life has become a focal point of fascination for fans of the bold and the beautiful. As we delve into the myriad possibilities that lie ahead for Hope, we'll explore the potential paths her heart might take, each fraught with its own unique challenges and opportunities. Embracing independence, Hope's journey of self-discovery. In a surprising twist that defies the typical narrative arc of soap opera heroines, Hope Logan might just embark on the most transformative journey of all, the path of self-discovery through embracing her single status. This unexpected turn of events could provide a refreshing change of pace for both the character and the viewers, offering a nuanced exploration of personal growth outside the confines of romantic entanglements. Imagine Hope taking a sabbatical from the tumultuous world of fashion and family drama, perhaps jetting off to a remote retreat where she can focus on introspection and healing. Picture her learning to meditate on a sun-drenched beach, or hiking through misty mountains as she confronts her inner demons and past traumas. This period of solitude could serve as a crucible for Hope's character development, allowing her to emerge stronger, more self-assured, and with a clearer vision of what she truly wants in life and love. During this time, Hope might delve into creative pursuits she's never had time for before. Perhaps she'll discover a talent for painting, capturing the raw emotions of her journey on canvas. Or maybe she'll pen a memoir chronicling her experiences in the cutthroat world of fashion and the complexities of her romantic history. This creative outlet could not only provide therapeutic benefits, but also potentially open up new career avenues for Hope upon her return to Los Angeles. Moreover, Hope's decision to remain single for an extended period could have ripple effects throughout the B&B universe. Her absence from the romantic playing field might cause other characters to reevaluate their own relationships and life choices. It could also set the stage for a triumphant return, with a newly empowered Hope ready to face whatever challenges, romantic or otherwise, that await her. While Hope has historically jumped from one relationship to another, this period of intentional singlehood could be the key to breaking that cycle. By focusing on self-improvement and personal growth, Hope might finally be able to address the underlying issues that have led to her tumultuous love life. Therapy sessions could reveal deep-seated insecurities or unresolved traumas that have influenced her romantic choices, allowing her to work through these issues in a healthy, productive manner. As Hope navigates this new chapter of her life, viewers might be treated to a series of flashbacks or dream sequences that provide insight into her psyche. These could include poignant memories of past relationships, revealing the lessons learned and the growth experienced. Such scenes would not only add depth to Hope's character, but also provide longtime fans with nostalgic glimpses of beloved past storylines. The Liam Spencer conundrum, a return to familiar territory. As Hope contemplates her romantic future, the specter of her past with Liam Spencer looms large. Their shared history and the bond of co-parenting their daughter Beth creates a gravitational pull that's hard to ignore. But would a reunion with Liam truly be in Hope's best interest? Or would it merely be a regression to old patterns? Imagine a series of scenes where Hope and Liam find themselves thrown together in various parenting scenarios, school plays, parent-teacher conferences, or impromptu family picnics. These moments of domestic bliss could reignite the spark between them, reminding them of the family unit they once were. The comfort of familiarity might be tempting for Hope, especially in the wake of her recent heartbreaks. However, the road to reconciliation with Liam would be far from smooth. Their past is littered with betrayals, misunderstandings, and competing loyalties. Hope would need to grapple with whether she can truly forgive Liam for his past indiscretions, and if she's willing to risk her heart on a man who has let her down before. Moreover, a potential reunion between Hope and Liam would send shockwaves through their extended families. How would Steffy react to seeing her former rival back in Liam's arms? And what about Bill Spencer? Would he support his son's reconciliation with Hope, or would he see it as a step backward? The writers could explore this potential storyline through a series of what-if dream sequences, allowing Hope and the viewers to imagine various outcomes of a reunion with Liam. These fantasy scenarios could range from idyllic to nightmarish, highlighting both the allure and the pitfalls of rekindling this relationship. The Carter-Walton possibility, a second chance at new love. The unresolved tension between Hope and Carter Walton presents another intriguing possibility for Hope's romantic future. Their connection, though relatively new, has shown promise and depth that could potentially blossom into something meaningful if given the chance. Picture a scenario where Hope and Carter cross paths at a charity event, both still nursing the wounds of their recent falling out. The spark between them is undeniable, but so is the awkwardness of their unresolved issues. This encounter could set the stage for a slow burn reconciliation, with both characters cautiously circling each other, unsure of how to bridge the gap between them. The obstacle of Daphne Rose adds an element of dramatic tension to this potential pairing. As Carter becomes more entangled in Daphne's web of secrets, Hope might find herself in the position of having to decide whether to reveal what she knows about Daphne's schemes. This moral dilemma could create compelling drama, forcing Hope to choose between protecting Carter and respecting his choices, or intervening to save him from potential heartbreak. Moreover, a reunion between Hope and Carter would face scrutiny from their respective families and social circles. How would the Forrester clan react to seeing Hope with Carter, given his history with Quinn? And what about Carter's friends and colleagues? Would they see Hope as a suitable match for him? Or would they view her as bringing unnecessary drama into his life? The writers could explore the complexities of this relationship through a series of intimate conversations between Hope and Carter, perhaps set against the backdrop of late-night work sessions at Forrester Creations. These scenes could delve into their fears, hopes, and the baggage they both bring to the table, allowing for a nuanced exploration of what it means to give love a second chance. The Finn factor, a dangerous game of desire and revenge. The possibility of Hope pursuing Finn adds a layer of delicious scandal to her potential romantic future. This path would not only satisfy Hope's desire for love, but also serve as a means of exacting revenge on Steffy, adding a darker edge to Hope's character that could be fascinating to explore. Imagine a series of chance encounters between Hope and Finn, perhaps at the hospital where he works or at social events where their paths cross. Each interaction could be charged with unspoken tension, with Hope carefully laying the groundwork for a potential seduction. The writers could play with the idea of Hope adopting a more provocative persona, perhaps revamping her image both personally and professionally to catch Finn's eye. However, this pursuit of Finn would come with significant risks and moral quandaries. Hope would have to grapple with the potential consequences of her actions, not just for Steffy and Finn, but for the extended family dynamics and her own sense of self. Would she be able to live with herself if she succeeded in breaking up Finn's marriage? And how would this affect her co-parenting relationship with Liam, given Steffy's involvement? The storyline could also explore Finn's perspective, showing his internal struggle as he finds himself unexpectedly drawn to Hope. This could lead to tense, emotionally charged scenes where Finn and Hope dance around their growing attraction, all while trying to maintain the appearance of propriety. The Thomas Forrester wildcard, a quest for closure or a new beginning. The unresolved chapter with Thomas Forrester presents yet another intriguing possibility for Hope's romantic journey. The ambiguities surrounding Thomas's marital status with Paris Buckingham leaves the door open for a potential reconnection, albeit one fraught with complications and emotional baggage. Picture Hope embarking on a mission to track down Thomas, driven by a mix of curiosity, unresolved feelings, and a desire for closure. This quest could take her to exotic locations, following leads and rumors about Thomas's whereabouts. Each step of the journey could reveal new facets of Hope's character, as she grapples with her motivations for seeking out a man who has caused her both pain and passion in the past. If Hope does manage to find Thomas, their reunion could be explosive. Years of unspoken words, suppressed emotions, and shared history would come rushing to the surface. The writers could craft intense, emotionally charged scenes where Hope and Thomas confront their past and consider the possibility of a future together. However, the shadow of their troubled history looms large. Hope would need to decide if she can truly forgive Thomas for his past manipulations and obsessive behavior, and Thomas, if indeed single, would have to prove that he has genuinely changed and is worthy of Hope's trust and love. This storyline could also explore the reactions of their families to a potential Hope-Thomas reunion. How would Ridge react to seeing his son potentially reunite with Hope? And what about Brooke? Could she ever accept Thomas as a suitable partner for her daughter, given their tumultuous history? Conclusion: a tapestry of possibilities. As Hope Logan stands at this crucial crossroads in her life, the possibilities for her romantic future are as varied as they are intriguing. Whether she chooses to embrace her independence, revisit past loves, explore new connections, or even venture into morally ambiguous territory, Hope's journey promises to be filled with drama, emotion, and character growth. The writers of The Bold and the Beautiful have laid out a rich tapestry of potential storylines, each offering unique opportunities to explore different facets of Hope's character and the complex web of relationships that define the show's universe. As viewers, we can look forward to watching Hope navigate these choppy romantic waters, making choices that will not only shape her future, but ripple out to affect the lives of those around her. Next, we will learn about the issue of Hope Logan's dramatic downward spiral and her potential revenge plans that could shake the very foundations of Los Angeles' elite social circles. As the once beloved fashion icon finds herself at rock bottom, a perfect storm of resentment, betrayal, and desperation is brewing, threatening to unleash chaos on those she believes have wronged her. The history of rivalry, Hope's enduring conflict with Steffy Forrester. The animosity between Hope Logan and Steffy Forrester represents one of the most enduring and complex rivalries in the soap opera universe. Their contentious relationship, spanning years of backstabbing, competition, and occasional moments of reluctant alliance, has reached yet another boiling point that promises explosive consequences. Steffy's recent decision to terminate Hope's employment at Forrester Creations marks just the latest salvo in their ongoing war. This professional humiliation, delivered with Steffy's characteristic ruthlessness, has stripped Hope of not only her income, but also her creative outlet and professional identity. The timing couldn't have been more devastating, coming as it did during Hope's already precarious emotional state. For those who have followed the saga between these two formidable women, Steffy's actions represent a continuation of a pattern that stretches back through their shared history. From their competition over Liam Spencer to their professional rivalries and family disputes, Steffy has often emerged victorious in their confrontations, a fact that undoubtedly fuels Hope's current resentment. Industry insiders with connections to the Forrester empire suggest that Steffy's decision to fire Hope wasn't merely a business calculation, but contained elements of personal satisfaction. Steffy has always viewed Hope's presence at Forrester as an intrusion, reveals one source close to the family. The opportunity to remove her from the company while she was already vulnerable was too tempting to resist. The psychological impact of this professional rejection cannot be overstated. Fashion has been Hope's refuge during previous personal crises, and now, without that creative outlet, she finds herself adrift in a sea of resentment with no productive channel for her emotions. This combination of idle hands and festering anger creates the perfect conditions for a revenge plot, targeting the woman who has so often been her nemesis. What form might this revenge take? Given Hope's intimate knowledge of both Forrester Creations and Steffy's personal life, the possibilities are virtually limitless. She could leak confidential design information to competitors, sabotage upcoming fashion shows, or even target Steffy's marriage to Finn, a relationship that has long been a source of envy for Hope. Most concerning is Hope's potential knowledge of Daphne and Steffy's secret seduction scheme. If Hope discovers this clandestine plot, she would gain powerful ammunition to not only damage Steffy's reputation, but potentially destroy her marriage and professional standing. The revelation of such manipulation would cast Steffy as the villain in the eyes of the fashion world and their shared social circle, a reversal of fortune that would surely delight the vengeful Hope. The Carter-Daphne connection, a new target for Hope's wrath. The burgeoning relationship between Carter Walton and Daphne Rose represents another potential target for Hope's vengeance. Despite the fact that Hope herself initiated their breakup, accusing Carter of betrayal for siding with Ridge Forrester, the sight of him finding comfort in Daphne's arms has ignited a jealous rage that threatens to consume her. Carter's swift emotional pivot from Hope to Daphne mirrors a pattern Hope has witnessed before. Specifically, Ridge's immediate transition from Brooke to Taylor. This parallel hasn't escaped Hope's notice, reinforcing her belief that the men in her life are fundamentally untrustworthy and quick to replace her. Fashion industry observers note that Carter and Daphne have been spotted together at several exclusive Los Angeles restaurants, their body language suggesting a rapidly deepening connection. They have that new couple glow, remarks one witness who observed them at the trendy Café Russe. Carter looks at Daphne the way he once looked at Hope, maybe even more intensely. Sources close to Carter reveal that he's already contemplating a serious commitment to Daphne. True to his pattern of moving quickly in relationships, Carter has always wanted marriage and a family, explains a longtime friend. With Daphne, he sees the possibility of finally achieving that dream. There are even whispers of Carter browsing engagement rings at exclusive Beverly Hills jewelers, suggesting he may be preparing to propose. For Hope, who is still processing the emotional aftermath of their breakup, the prospect of Carter and Daphne's happiness represents an intolerable affront. The speed with which Carter appears to have moved on undermines the significance of their relationship and suggests a lack of genuine emotional investment on his part, at least from Hope's perspective. Hope's potential sabotage of this new relationship could take many forms. She might orchestrate accidental encounters with Carter to remind him of what they shared, spread damaging rumors about Daphne throughout their social circle, or even expose the truth about Daphne's original intentions if she discovers the scheme with Steffy. Most dramatically, Hope could wait until a significant moment, an engagement announcement, a romantic vacation, or even a wedding ceremony to unleash her revenge, maximizing the emotional damage and public humiliation. Given Hope's current state of mind, such calculated cruelty seems well within the realm of possibility. Mother-daughter meltdown, the fractured relationship with Brooke. The deterioration of Hope's relationship with her mother, Brooke Logan, represents perhaps the most personally devastating aspect of her crisis. Their recent confrontation, which escalated to the brink of physical violence before Katie Logan's intervention, revealed the depth of resentment and blame that has infected their once close bond. Psychological experts who have analyzed their interaction note the dangerous emotional territory they've entered. When a mother-daughter relationship reaches the point where physical aggression becomes possible, it indicates a fundamental breakdown in communication and boundaries, explains Dr. Elaine Winters, a family therapist who has worked with high-profile Hollywood families. The fact that Hope raised her hand to Brooke signals that she's lost all perspective on appropriate behavior. The substance of their argument revealed layers of mutual blame and resentment. Brooke clearly holds Hope partially responsible for her separation from Ridge, while Hope bitterly pointed out that Brooke lost Ridge regardless, a cruel observation designed to wound her mother at her most vulnerable point. What makes this conflict particularly poignant is the history of their relationship. Brooke has consistently been Hope's most loyal defender and advocate, standing by her through countless personal and professional crises. For their relationship to deteriorate to this point indicates the severity of Hope's emotional breakdown. The momentary reconciliation that occurred when Hope broke down in tears and Brooke embraced her offered a glimmer of hope for their relationship. However, sources close to the family suggest this was merely a temporary emotional release rather than a genuine resolution. Hope said she was sorry, but her actions going forward will reveal whether she truly meant it, notes one family friend. Words come easily in moments of emotional exhaustion, but true change requires sustained effort. The fragility of their reconciliation is compounded by Hope's continued refusal to accept responsibility for her actions. Both Carter and Brooke have urged her to take accountability, advice that has only fueled her anger and resentment. This fundamental inability to acknowledge her role in her current circumstances suggests that any improvement in her relationship with Brooke may be short-lived. The blame game, Hope's refusal to accept responsibility. At the heart of Hope's current crisis lies her inability to accept responsibility for her own actions. This pattern of external blame has alienated virtually everyone in her life, from family members to romantic partners to professional colleagues. Mental health professionals who have observed Hope's behavior identify this as a classic defense mechanism. When someone's self-image is threatened by their own actions, it's often easier to project blame outward than to confront painful truths about oneself, explains Marcus Bennett, a clinical psychologist specializing in personality disorders. Hope's extreme reaction to suggestions that she take accountability indicates how threatening that concept is to her current psychological state. Carter's attempt to encourage Hope to take responsibility for her actions after acknowledging his own mistakes triggered an explosive reaction that ultimately led to their breakup. Similarly, Brooke's suggestion that Hope examine her own role in her current circumstances nearly resulted in physical violence, revealing just how volatile this topic has become. This refusal to accept accountability has created a dangerous feedback loop in Hope's life. As she blames others for her problems, she alienates potential sources of support, which in turn increases her isolation and resentment, further reinforcing her belief that others are conspiring against her. Fashion industry insiders note that this pattern has damaged Hope's professional reputation as well. The fashion world is small, and word travels fast, explains one executive who has worked with Hope in the past. Her inability to accept criticism or take responsibility for design missteps has made many potential collaborators wary of working with her, even before the latest drama at Forrester. Hope's current unemployment provides her with abundant time to nurture grievances and plot revenge, a dangerous combination given her emotional state. Without the structure and purpose provided by work, she risks becoming increasingly fixated on perceived wrongs and potential retribution. The breaking point: Hope's emotional collapse. The confrontation between Hope and Brooke appears to have pushed Hope to a psychological breaking point, though whether this will lead to genuine self-reflection or further destructive behavior remains to be seen. The intensity of their argument, with Hope nearly striking her own mother, represents a shocking escalation in Hope's behavior. This moment of near violence suggests that Hope has lost the internal guardrails that typically prevent such extreme actions, a concerning development for those who care about her. Katie Logan's intervention in this volatile moment likely prevented a physical altercation that would have irreparably damaged the mother-daughter relationship. Her presence as a stabilizing influence highlights the importance of third-party mediation in family conflicts that have reached such a dangerous intensity. The emotional breakdown that followed, with Hope collapsing into tears and accepting her mother's embrace, offered a glimpse of the vulnerable young woman beneath the angry exterior. This moment of raw emotion suggests that Hope is not entirely lost to her resentment and may still be capable of reconnecting with her better nature. However, psychological experts caution against interpreting this emotional release as a sign of genuine change. Emotional catharsis can provide temporary relief without addressing underlying issues, explains Dr. Bennett. Without professional help and a commitment to self-examination, Hope risks returning to the same destructive patterns once the immediate emotional intensity subsides. The road ahead for Hope appears long and challenging. Her current emotional state, combined with her unemployment and damaged relationships, creates a perfect storm of factors that could lead to further self-destructive behavior or harmful actions toward others. What lies ahead? Hope's potential revenge tour. As Hope emerges from the immediate aftermath of her confrontation with Brooke, all signs point to a calculated revenge campaign rather than genuine introspection and growth. With her professional life in shambles and her personal relationships damaged, Hope has little left to lose, a dangerous position for someone harboring deep resentments. Carter and Daphne appear to be primary targets for Hope's vengeance. As their relationship blossoms, each milestone will likely trigger fresh pain and jealousy for Hope. Industry insiders report that Carter has been spotted dining with Daphne at exclusive restaurants and introducing her to his close friends, suggesting a relationship that is rapidly becoming serious. If Carter follows his established pattern of quick commitment, an engagement announcement could come within weeks rather than months. Such a development would represent the ultimate rejection in Hope's eyes, potentially triggering an extreme response designed to disrupt their happiness. Hope's potential discovery of Daphne's original scheme with Steffy adds another explosive element to this situation. Armed with this knowledge, Hope could position herself as Carter's protector, revealing Daphne's manipulation at a strategically devastating moment, perhaps during an engagement party or even at the altar. Steffy Forrester remains an obvious target for Hope's revenge, continuing their years-long rivalry. Hope's intimate knowledge of Forrester Creations' operations provides her with numerous opportunities for sabotage, from leaking confidential designs to undermining key business relationships. More personally, Hope could target Steffy's marriage to Finn, a relationship that has long been a source of envy, given Hope's current emotional state. Attempting to seduce Finn or otherwise disrupt their marriage seems well within the realm of possibility, particularly as a way to inflict maximum emotional damage on her longtime rival. Conclusion: the uncertain path forward. As Hope Logan stands at this critical juncture, the path she chooses will determine not only her own future, but potentially the futures of many within her social circle. The combination of professional humiliation, romantic rejection, and family conflict has created a perfect storm of resentment that threatens to unleash chaos. Those closest to Hope can only hope that her emotional breakdown with Brooke represents the beginning of genuine self-reflection rather than merely a temporary release of tension. Without professional help and a commitment to taking responsibility for her actions, Hope risks spiraling further into destructive behavior that will only deepen her isolation. For viewers of this unfolding drama, the coming weeks promise explosive confrontations, shocking revelations, and potentially life-altering consequences. Will Hope find her way back to the compassionate, principled woman she once was, or will she surrender completely to the darkness of revenge and resentment? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: the repercussions of Hope Logan's choices will reverberate throughout Los Angeles' elite social circles for months to come. Stay tuned to our channel for continuing coverage of this developing situation, including exclusive interviews with sources close to all parties involved and expert analysis of the psychological dynamics at play in this complex and volatile situation.